So I got asked the other day, what's the deal with the Lexus Bespoke LC500? And I realized that even on the website, Lexus kind of leaves it as a mystery. And today I'm going to unpack a little bit of the options and process to pick out an LC500 and how you can spec it. But admittedly, I'm probably going to leave a little bit of mystery because that's all part of the fun of picking this out. I'm Dustin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. Like and subscribe for more Lexus related content. Okay, so jumping right into here. So when you go to pick out an LC500, obviously your first step is picking a dealership that can help you with this. And in Canada, like at the dealership I'm at, for instance, we usually do about 4 or 5 LC500s a year, and maybe one of them is a Bespoke. The last Bespoke I did actually arrived quicker than a normal vehicle, and I think some of that is just the fact that the way it's built and the way it's spec'd out. So right off the hop, you are gonna pay a little bit more, the base charge for an LC500. In Canada, that base charge is only $3,335. Really random number, I know, but you do get some options for it. So once you pick out a dealership and reach out to them, you'll even notice on the Lexus website tool or Lexus.ca tool, that's what the first sort of step is. From there, you're gonna be able to pick things like color and wheels and a few other specs like that. And I'll go through those with you sort of right now. So the first thing is the color. And don't forget, with something like this, you don't have to play by the rules in terms of like exterior color and interior color. So you can choose from things like Copper Crest, which is the new sort of rose gold exterior color in the lineup. Smoky Granite Mica, which is a color that has sort of been phased out over the last number of years. We have Ultra White Infrared, Flare Yellow, which is another really rare color. My personal favorite, Ultrasonic Blue Mica. You have Nori Green Pearl, which is that deep, rich green color. We also have Caviar, which is a metallic black, and Atomic Silver, and another silver on top of that. So I would always recommend starting with your exterior color and having an understanding of what you're gonna go from there. The next is the interior. So in my mind, when I look at the Bespoke, it's to really tailor the car towards you and make it very much your own build. So you can choose from a black, you can choose from, a black semi-aniline leather. You can do a toasted caramel, which not only just does the seats, but also does the dash and door panels and stuff like that. We have Rioja Red, semi-aniline leather, and the blue and white, which is right now my favorite color, now that I got to see it in person. So again, matching that exterior color with that interior color. And some of the interior color, by the way, you do pay more for. So the blue and white interior, you do pay an extra 3,620 Canadian. Now we can choose seats, and it doesn't really dictate any other features. So you have the normal seat, or as I call it, the comfort seat, where the leather's a little bit softer, the bolsters aren't as aggressive, and even the back of it is a little bit softer and has less sort of aggressive panels and stuff to it. That to me is like a touring seat, in my opinion. Then we can also choose the sport seat. So the sport seat is gonna have a little more integrity to it. It's gonna have some different angles and panels and things like that, with a much bigger bolster on both the top and the bottom. And because of that, the seat itself is also a little bit stiffer. So depending what you want, if you want like a stiff posture seat that's gonna really hold you in place around corners, or if you want something that you're gonna be touring in and have a little bit softer, that would be the normal seat. And there isn't a price difference between the two. So whether it's the sports seat or the normal seat, however, I do think the sports seat has some Alcantara to it. So that is important. They do say that the normal seat has a layered construction, and the side supports on the sports seat are a little bit, more bold. Both of them have integrated foaming construction, and the upholstery is semi-aniline on the normal seat or the comfort seat, and on the other one it does mention Alcantara. For wheels, so we have a couple different options for wheels. The 21-inch forged wheel option number 1 is what they call it. So this is the wheel that has just black and chrome, and interesting enough, in the last couple years, they've inverted it. So I have that same wheel design on my LS 460 that I have, and that came off of an LC. And it was where the chrome was like the majority of it and had black inserts. Now it's like black with chrome inserts, I guess you could say. So that's wheel option number 1, it's 21 inch. Wheel option number 2 is the 21 inch wheel from like the convertible, or I think the performance package gives you that as well on the regular LC. So that one is a really, really gorgeous wheel. It has sort of like a turbine, design to it with some brushed aluminum flat spots. Looks really sharp when moving, it looks really sharp when parked. It's got that luxury vibe. It's got maybe a luxury sport vibe. And then we have the Inspiration Edition 5-spoke wheel. So this one is very unique to the Lexus Inspiration Edition. If you don't know what the Inspiration Edition is, Google it. It's a numbered car, very unique. Some years of Inspiration Edition had a really unique color as well. But that's where that wheel comes in. It is more of a sport wheel. It's less of a luxury wheel, more of a sport wheel. In person, it looks a lot darker than I expected, and I do really like it. That one is an extra $2,000, 2,100 Canadian. The option number 2 is only like an extra 50 bucks or something like that. And option number 1, you don't have to pay anything extra for. So there's good to note there. From there, we can now pick our roof selection. So standard, it's gonna come with no sunroof, but a glass roof that you can sort of just open up a manual shade to let some light in. It's like a tinted glass roof. You can opt for the carbon fiber roof. Now with that, you do lose that sun visor or like that sunroof, and you do pay a little bit extra. However, the depth of that carbon fiber and just the luxury look of it, and carbon fiber has sort of changed the way we look at materials over the years, because it used to be that only high-end cars had carbon fiber. So it sort of became like a luxury item, no different than a luxurious watch, where it's a showcase of craftsmanship and engineering. And because of that, it showcases wealth a little bit. So I do like the carbon fiber roof. That option will cost you around the 2,500 mark Canadian. So if it was me, I would say that's okay. I'll get rid of that glass roof and add the carbon fiber roof for that money. Especially if you have a cool color like the blue, where it really contrasts nice with it, or even the white, where it contrasts nice with it. I think it's a no-brainer. Okay, so spoiler selection. So the LC itself has a really nice sort of lip or edge to that rear trunk. You can make it even nicer with an active rear spoiler, and that spoiler will move at a certain speed and go up and down, sort of like what we've seen in the RCF and things like that. So no spoiler is free, active spoiler, 1,000 bucks Canadian, no big deal. Then we can talk about accents. This one was really tricky to understand the way that it's said, because again, as you've probably noticed, you can't just go to the Lexus website and build out a bespoke. I think maybe they did it and taken it away. You can't actually do that. So some of these features are a little confusing. This one is the accent. And no, I'm not talking about my Canadian accent, like when I say about or, out and about or anything like that. So the accent, you can do chrome. So around that grille is chrome, and the headlights and taillights and accents are all sort of chromed out. That's free, you don't have to pay for that. You can do the black garnish. So the black garnish means those areas around the headlight and sort of, following in with the headlight are all blacked out. And it's a very interesting black. It's almost like a metallic black. It's almost like a granite. So there is some depth and character to that. And because of that, it makes the grille like a smoked out chrome. This is definitely the way I would go. It also does the same thing to the rear taillight. So instead of having these big chrome taillight garnishes, it's all blacked out and it's just a little more subtle. It's only $700 Canadian. So it's definitely personalized, right? To have something that not all the LCs look like. And it would be a way externally that would show that this is a bespoke, because you can't do that in the other builds, as far as I know. Okay, now you can also you can also add a bespoke performance option. So this is like the only package that packages together that you can add. So you can add the Torsen limited slip differential, the carbon fiber reinforced polymer scuff plates, the rear performance damper, and the Michelin tires. So all of that can be packaged together for about $1,150, $1,145 to be exact. And I don't know about you, but I'm probably not gonna push this car hard enough for that torsion slip differential, but I'm gonna want it anyway. And if you've done the carbon fiber roof, having those carbon fiber reinforced polymer scuff plates is a really nice touch when you go to open the door and you can see them sitting there. The rear performance damper, again, I'm not gonna push this car hard enough to be able to, and I'm probably not a good enough driver to be able to feel that, but I did hear that it does create some rigidity. And the Michelin tires are the Pilot Sports 5, so that alone, if you were to buy those tires on by yourself, you'd be well over this price. So it might be worthwhile adding that in there. And I don't think you lose that, or that you have to have any other feature to add that. But anyway, it's important to know. Now you can choose the headliner. So we have Bellezza, which is like the standard headliner. It just feels like your standard headliner material, or the Alcantara. So the Alcantara is an $1,800 option. This blew my mind. Like, that is a big chunk of change for a headliner. When we even think of the differential and the scuff plates and the tires that we just talked about for $1,100, the Alcantara does seem a little pricey. It's a cool flex. My LS has the Alcantara. I mean, when I touch it, it's kind of cool because like it leaves, marks or whatever. But it is almost, it's probably out of all the options, it might be the one that like no one's really gonna notice. So up to you, you could definitely use that $1,800 to like put an exhaust on it or something, I don't know. But let me know if you would do it. Then you get, I'm gonna be a little mysterious. You get a few other things by going to the Bespoke. Not only do you get the custom suit style of car, and no, it doesn't come with a custom suit, but it's almost like having that tailored suit to the way you want it. You also get a little plaque that tells you that it's a Bespoke, and I think that's really unique. And there's also a surprise for the owner, but if you wanna know what that is, you're gonna have to order one. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, if you would order an LC Bespoke and how you would spec it out, if you found this helpful and maybe you're in the market for something like this, and if you think Lexus should do more Bespoke type options. I'm Justin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.